Revolutionary satellite launch. ISRO NASA's Nisar mission to spy on Earth. In a groundbreaking collaboration, the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO and NASA have embarked on a pioneering mission, launching a satellite that will meticulously monitor Earth's every shift and change. This joint venture, a testament to the power of international cooperation, promises to revolutionize disaster preparedness and climate change research on a global scale. The 2,392-kilogram NASA-ISRO synthetic aperture radar, Nisar satellite, hailed as the most sophisticated radar ever constructed, was successfully launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in southern India at 1740 local time, 12:10 GMT on Wednesday. This comes hot on the heels of the Axiom 4 mission, which marked the first time an Indian astronaut journeyed to the International Space Station. bbc.com/news/articles/CREN-WONYQNKO. Nisar, a first-of-its-kind satellite, will employ dual radar frequencies, NASA's L-band and ISRO's S-band, to observe Earth with unprecedented detail. It will be placed in a Sun-Synchronous polar orbit, ensuring it passes over the same areas of Earth at regular intervals, capturing and mapping changes to our planet's surface. This will enable the satellite to revisit the same spot every 12 days, detecting shifts in land, ice, and coastal areas as minute as centimeters. The data collected by Nisar will be a treasure trove for scientists, aiding in disaster preparedness and tracking the impacts of climate change. Earth's surface is in a constant state of flux due to both natural processes and human activities, and even subtle changes can have significant consequences. Nisar will be instrumental in identifying the precursors to natural hazards like earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions, as well as monitoring land subsidence, glacier melting, and forest fires. It will also reveal human-induced land alterations caused by agriculture and infrastructure projects. After a 90-day deployment period, Nisar will begin collecting data once all systems have been thoroughly tested. This $1.5 billion joint mission, a decade in the making, showcases India's payload, rocket, and launch pad facilities and was built by scientists who persevered through the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. ISRO Chairman V. Narayanan described Nisar as a life-saving satellite and a symbol of India's growing influence in the space domain. Indian Science Minister Jitendra Singh echoed this sentiment, calling the mission a pivotal moment in India-US space collaboration and a catalyst for ISRO's international partnerships. Nisar is not just a satellite, it is India's scientific handshake with the world, the minister proclaimed. https://www.pib.gov.in/press release page/PRID149078. This joint mission follows the recent AX-4 mission, which saw astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla travel to the International Space Station under the leadership of former NASA veteran Peggy Whitson. India's space program has been making significant strides, with its moon mission becoming the first to land in the lunar South Pole region in August 2023. https://www.bbc.com/world/asia/india/665945520. And the launch of its first solar observation mission last year. Looking ahead, ISRO has ambitious plans to launch Gaganyaan, India's maiden human spaceflight, in 2027, and to establish a space station by 2035, with the goal of sending an astronaut to the moon by 2040. Follow BBC News India on Instagram, https://www.instagram.com/BBC News India, YouTube, www.youtube.com/featured, Twitter, https://x.com/BBC India, and Facebook, https://facebook.com/BBC India, for updates on these and other exciting developments in the world of space exploration. NASA and ISRO's historic mission, unlocking Earth's secrets. Hold on. For the first time in history, two global superpowers have collaborated to build a satellite that could dramatically reshape how we understand Earth. Meet Nisar, a groundbreaking joint venture between NASA and India's ISRO that's equipped with tools to track nearly invisible changes in our planet's surface. This isn't just a space mission. It's a game changer for predicting natural disasters and protecting humanity. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this level of technological collaboration between rivals set a precedent for future scientific partnerships? How it works. Seeing what's invisible. Nisar uses two advanced radar systems. Think of them as ultra-precise radar cameras to map Earth's surface in meticulous detail. Here's the key detail many might miss. The dual radar, the S-band from ISRO and L-band from NASA, offers complementary perspectives. Imagine the S-band as a microscope capturing tiny features like crop health, while the L-band acts as a telescope peeking through dense forests or thick ice sheets. Together, they provide data that neither system could achieve alone. The scope, tracking changes smaller than your fingernail. When Nisar orbits Earth 14 times daily, it scans ice, land, and oceans. The precision? It detects movements as subtle as millimeters, smaller than a quarter of an inch. These measurements become critical for predicting landslides and earthquakes by tracking ground deformation, monitoring ice to understand glacier collapse risks, assessing wildfires and hurricane impacts through vegetation and land changes. But here's an undeniable reality. Without this mission, scientists and policymakers are effectively flying blind to these slow-motion environmental shifts. A partnership born of necessity and pandemic challenges equals partnership born of necessity and pandemic challenges. The Nisar project crowned a decade of discussions between NASA and ISRO. The original agreement, signed in 2014, during a period when space collaborations between major powers were rare, required ingenuity. Imagine assembling satellite hardware on opposite continents, NASA's JPL in California and ISRO's facilities in Bengaluru. Team members endured 36-hour flights and pandemic-era remote work to achieve this feat. Why India-US collaboration matters. This partnership isn't just symbolic, it's strategic. India supplied the S-band radar, satellite body, and launch vehicle, while NASA provided the L-band system and communication gear. Wendy Edelstein, Nisar's deputy project manager, described the challenge. Building a satellite across oceans during COVID required synchronized effort. It bonded us in ways we never expected. India's science minister called Nisar a global handshake toward shared welfare, a concept many find inspiring but others debate. Can this model work for nations with more contentious relations? Future implications, a new era of Earth observation. Nisar's publicly available data could revolutionize disaster preparedness worldwide. For instance, early warnings for volcanic eruptions might become possible by detecting subsurface magma shifts. The same technology could help nations assess agricultural productivity or track illegal deforestation. But this raises tough questions. How will this data be shared equitably? Could it become a tool for geopolitical leverage? These are debates we mustn't shy from. Your turn. We want to hear from you. Nisar represents both hope and uncertainty. Will this collaboration motivate other nations to drop competitive postures for collective good? Or will data access become a new battleground? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're curious to know your perspective. After all, the future of Earth observation doesn't just belong to scientists and diplomats. It belongs to everyone who calls this planet home. Nisar satellite launch. NASA and ISRO join forces to monitor Earth's changing surfaces. Earth just got a powerful new guardian in the sky, and it's rewriting the rules of how we monitor our planet. A groundbreaking satellite collaboration between NASA and India's space agency has launched, promising to reveal Earth's hidden movements with jaw-dropping precision. But here's where it gets groundbreaking. This isn't just another space gadget. The Nisar satellite, a $1.5 billion marvel, can detect shifts in land and ice as subtle as the thickness of a pencil eraser. And this is the part most people miss. Its data could save lives by predicting disasters before they strike. On July 30th at 8:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Nisar satellite, a joint effort by NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, soared into orbit from India's Satish Dhawan Space Center. Riding atop ISRO's Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle, GSLV. The mission marks a historic first, the largest ever U.S.-India space partnership, championed by both nations' leaders. Within 20 minutes of liftoff, ground controllers confirmed the satellite was alive and healthy, kicking off a mission that's been over a decade in the making. Why does this matter to you? Nisar's dual radar systems will scan 90% of Earth's land and ice surfaces every 12 days, creating 3D maps so detailed they'll track everything from sinking cities to melting glaciers. Imagine knowing weeks in advance if a landslide could bury a village, or if a bridge is slowly cracking under stress. That's the power of Nisar's L-band and S-band radars. Tools so advanced they can see through clouds and darkness, unlike traditional cameras. But here's the twist most don't see coming. While Nisar's goals are undeniably noble, its capabilities raise provocative questions. Could this level of surveillance blur the line between scientific research and privacy? For instance, when monitoring crop health or urban infrastructure, who controls the data? And how might it be misused? We'll let you ponder that in the comments. From 747 kilometers above Earth, Nisar will act as a planetary doctor, diagnosing hidden ailments. Its L-band radar, built by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, specializes in measuring soil moisture and tracking the slow creep of tectonic plates, critical for predicting earthquakes. Meanwhile, ISRO's S-band radar will monitor agricultural fields and grasslands, helping farmers optimize crops in drought-prone regions. Together, they'll create a symphony of data, revealing how forests store carbon, how wetlands buffer floods, and how ice sheets inch toward oblivion. This isn't just about science, it's about survival, said NASA's Karen St. Germain. The satellite's findings will arm governments with tools to combat climate disasters, protect food supplies, and even track illegal deforestation. But here's the kicker. Nisar's most revolutionary feature isn't its tech, it's its diplomacy. In an era of geopolitical tensions, this U.S.-India partnership proves that space exploration can still unite nations. Yet, not everyone's hearing. Critics argue such projects divert funds from urgent Earth-based solutions. Does a satellite truly help a farmer whose fields are already parched? Or is this a case of looking down while the house burns? Let's debate. Are missions like Nisar visionary or a high-tech distraction? Over the next 90 days, Nisar will unfurl a massive 39-foot radar antenna, the largest ever flown in space. Once operational, it'll beam back terabytes of data, analyzed by scientists from both nations. Want to see its discoveries? Visit https://jpl.nasa.gov for real-time updates. Love it or question it, one thing's clear. Earth has never been watched this closely. What happens next could redefine how humanity safeguards its home. So, what's your take? Is Nisar a leap toward planetary stewardship or a step into uncharted ethical territory? Drop your thoughts below. Contact details and mission credits as an original.